this is my feedback on the my second attempt at the under the camera technique animation. I'll play it through now. So this one I found did work in some areas, but looking at this one, the first one I found looked a lot better than this. So as I thought, take the metamorphosis out like I did in this one, it looked a lot better with the metamorphosis in it. The impact works well, but from looking at this, and because the camera was quite close when I was animating this, it looked too much like just a JPEG image. Because I'm so zoomed in, it doesn't look that much like an under the camera, even though it was. Still tell that it's T with all the little specks of T in the areas like that. But with the other one, you could see the light box fully, and I think it looks a lot better that way, including in the light box. But I think the first three pictures worked, didn't work because these last three worked better from going to the impacts, from the impact, then metamorphosizing away, and then impact again, metamorphosizing away. So it would have been better throughout the whole animation if I was to do it like the best example I think is the trophy. So and then metamorphosis away. And doing that technique would have been better throughout the animation and would look a lot smoother. Because to me, the impact is quite jittery and kind of, I don't know, like disjointed, and it doesn't feel natural, doesn't flow that well. So I think would be the improvement would be to have the impact and then metamorphosize it into this, so it's just a blank T canvas, and then do that for every image. I did add two more symbols. There's trophy, meaning achievement and determination of goals is in sports or exercise, and the other one is a cigarette for people who turn to smoking if they want to, or whatever. But I added in some more symbols to make it a little bit longer, to see if making it longer would work. But playing through it then, because after the South African flag, at this point is when it loops. Obviously I know it's edited it, but you can kind of tell that it is a loop of the sound effects, and that if you listen beforehand you can kind of hear a even space between each horn, where at this point it's a lot longer. So play from here. It's a lot longer pause, which isn't much of a problem, but I think it kind of gives the audience, kind of gives it away to the audience, and didn't feel that smooth with that long pause. But I think overall the first attempt at this was a lot better than this one. I think again it's down to practice with under the camera because I'm not used to animating that way. So if I was to do a bit more under the camera, it would probably be a lot better. Cause like this is the first time I've ever animated under the camera and using TLEs and experimenting with this. Out of all of the experiments we did, out of all of the 6 experiments, this was probably the most simplest that I did out of them all, which I think was a good way to start with under the camera, was to do something quite simple, because like I said, I'm not used to it. But some elements of this one is good and some are bad, and I think it is a case of just practicing with under the camera and keep going with multiple attempts until I'm comfortable with it, really. But it's like in the industry where you'd have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. You get to that point, passes. So you'd obviously animate it, and then the supervisor would say change this, change that. So it's like you're the animator supervisor for your own work. So you'll do your own passes if this is the second pass of the under the camera animation. But overall, I think a bit more practice with under the camera. I definitely enjoyed animating with T. Definitely very, very different. And also, I think, like I've said, that the first attempt is a lot more better and cleaner and smoother than this second attempt of under the camera.